Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss about a brief history of CDA, that how CDA works and how many people work on the CDA and what does mean of CDA, in which situation CDA works. So CDA means critical discourse analysis, and this is interdisciplinary approach. It means that when we talk about CDA, so it has a lot of disciplines, and every discipline have their own way to study critically of that field of that discipline. So it's mean that it is different from each and every field. Why? Because the ideology, the terminology, the vocabulary, the social practices of that field it's quite change from the another field. Like if we talk about linguistic, if we talk about political science, if we talk about technology, so each and every field have their own social practices. So CDA is totally dependent on the social practices. Why? Because in social practices we produce a natural language and it studies. I mean that CDA studies the critical meaning of social practices. So CDA works for linguistics and non-linguistics. Non-linguistics means social practices that which we doesn't count in the field, in the line of the linguistics. That's some kinds of gestures, some kinds of use of body, other means of expression that we express in our daily life through some kind of picture. So that means non-linguistics. Linguistics practice mean that in which we use language, and we have to study how societal power is used and it is established in a society through language. So when we talk about power, so power mean that political ideology. Power doesn't mean force, but it mean political ideology, that how a group of people control the mind and the emotion of people. So it's mean that how the people establish the relation with the language, and how they impose such kinds of language vocabulary on the people. Like you know that in our society that the strong politics, the strong language is have religion have a very strong language, and it has a great ideology, and the people who use such kind of ideology, who control people through such ideology, so they have the power, and the power has been given to them. The language, what kind of language? Islamic language, Islamic terminology. Now background of the language mean that CDA mean that how it emerged, who worked on the CDA, and what kind of people worked on it for the CDA. So critical linguistic developed at the University of East Anglia by Roger Fowler and fellow scholars in the 1970, and terms are now often interchangeable. Research in the field of socio-linguistics. So firstly it was discussed in the socio-linguistic field because CDA discussed social practices, and social practices mean that how people do act, how people use language in certain circumstances and situations, how they use the language. So it is totally used in the socio-linguistic. Norman Fairclough is a very prominent figure of CDA, and he produced some kind of development that how to do analysis of CDA, and what kind of thing we have to keep in our mind. So as I told you that the theory, the approach has been drawn from the social theory. Why? Because it is totally belong to society and social practices, social language, social norms and values, ideology. All these things are used to discuss in the CDA. So Karl Marx, Antonio Gramsci, Luther Althusser, Jürgen Habermas, Michael Foucault. So all these people worked on the CDA, and they presented some kind of idea and ideology, that how people use their ideology and power to control the other people, and using ideology and power through language. So the study of this is known as discourse. So when we talk about critical discourse, so we go beyond the social norms. We discuss all those things which are related to that discourse. I mean, so we have to focus on the physical surrounding, also to critically discuss the ideology and the power of that thing. You know that each and everything has a meaning in the social circumstances, like you know that, and we call it that discursive practice. And discursive practice means that in our society, if someone has fair color, so it's mean the person belongs to an elite class. Like if a person have used some kind of clothes, some kind of perfume, so the person belong to a class. So each and everything we have been set up by a society, that if someone uses such kind of thing, so it's mean that the person belong to such kind of class, to a category. And all these practices has been developed by us according to our social practices, according to our discourse, and that is known as discursive practice. In CDA, we talk about ideology and power. So power doesn't mean force. It's mean that how people use such kinds of words, terminology in their discourse to control the emotions of people, and how they used to that such kind of people follow their leaders. So they use ideology like our Islamical ideology. Nowadays, a lot of people, a lot of Islamic philosophers work on the word that is known as Hatmi Nabuwat, like another term, blamphacy, or some people do some kind of, and we are emotionally touched with with all these discourse, that we have, firstly we think about our religion and then our life. So that's why this is known as ideology and power. And the power of that discourse, the power of their discursive practice is very strong in our society, and they control our emotions and our thoughts through such practices. I told you that there is a difference between CDA, critical discourse analysis, and discourse analysis. So in critical discourse analysis, we study and we discuss some deep things, some deep meaning of that conversation. We go some non-linguistic approaches, and we use that thing. But discourse analysis is different, that in which we just study that what kind of language, what kind of conversation has been done by a group of people in a society, and what kind of words bring what kind of meaning. So CDA is quietly researchable, and we have to go beyond the limitation of their discourse, and we work on the discursive practice along with the non-linguistic things. Here is a word has been used, socio-political. Socio-political means that in a society how people use political values. So it doesn't mean politics or just people do concern with the government. So political means in this scenario that how people use what kind of things that they control the emotion, the thoughts, the feeling of people. So socio-political mean that each and every society have their own ideology, and if they have their own ideology, so they use that ideology in certain practices in political language, in political way, and they control the society. So CDA does not limit its analysis to specific structure of text or talk, but systematically relates to the structure of socio-political context, mean that they use such kind of thing, they do analysis of such kind of things which are commonly not used in our talk and text, mean that some other meaning we get from non-linguistic thing that I told you just before, that we have used to set up some kind of practices, and we relate that practice to some kinds of class. So like this, that is socio-political context. CDA has been used to examine political speech acts, to highlight rhetoric beyond these and form of speech they may use to manipulate the impression given to the audience. So they use the word manipulate. Manipulate means that we have to do interpretation, that we think that might be the using of such kind of entity, the using of such kind of science. So it's mean that they have to mean such kind of thing in such practices. So as I told you that politics or political will doesn't mean that they use force. It's mean that they use such some kinds of vocabulary, some kinds of terms. They used to manipulate. They used to catch the attention of the people and follow them. So Norman Fairclough discussed the term CDA in his book Language and Power. So he said that he has been divided into three things: first, discourse; second, power; and third, ideology. Discourse mean the way we talk, the way we communicate to other people. Power mean how the people use, what kind of thing they use to control the people. And ideology, that what kind of social practices they has been set up in a society, and they apply and they impose of that kind of ideology on the people. And you know, if someone asks you that what is the ideology of Pakistan, so it has been a custom and culture of Islamic thoughts and beliefs, so that is our ideology. So if there is in CDA, we have to focus on the language of social practice, mean natural language, that is which is being used to speak according to natural way. That mean in natural situation, the people who use natural language. So it is being analyzed in the CDA, critical discourse. Fairclough developed three-dimensional framework for studying discourse. So he said that we have to do analysis of three things. So, and all these three things are dependent on each other. So the first one, analysis of language, text language, if it is in the form of spoken or written. So the second thing, he said that we have to analysis of discourse practices, that mean in the process of text production, distribution, consumption. And the third thing is analysis of discursive events. So as we use in our society, and I explained that discursive practice or discursive event mean that there is a sign and symbol, and it gives a meaning to us, that in what kind of situation we use what kind of things. Then Van Dyke used this approach, critical discourse analysis, and he combines theories with linguistic and social theories. That Van Dyke uses cognition as the middle layer of a three-layer. Second, cognition means the psychological control of people in a society, and he says that discourse, cognitive, and society, these are three important things that when we do analysis of a discourse, so we have to focus on these three things. And that's why we understand that in what kind of situation what that people think words, so we understand the thinking capability of our society, and we then after that control their mentality, their emotion according to situation and according to the social practices. Ruth Urich developed framework based on the systematic collection of sample text on a topic to better understand the interrelationship of discourse that exists in the field. That in what field, what kind of discourse used to be existed, and he says that ideology is most important in the analysis of a topic, in the analysis of a discourse. Now the last thing is application, that how we apply CDA. So CDA has been applied to media studies, English language teaching, and so other simple languages we use in our society, mean heritage language socialization, mean the use of societal language and environmental science. So in all these things we apply CDA, critical discourse analysis.